We are going to cover the lesson number 4 of Standard 10 Maharashtra Board. The name of the lesson is Environmental Management. This lesson comes under Science and Technology Part 2, and myself, Mrs. Prachi Surudikar, will explain this lesson to you. In this video, we are going to cover the subtopics like environmental conservation and biodiversity hotspots. If you want the explanation of the previous subtopics of this lesson, I have given the links in the description box. Please click on that and watch the explanation of the previous subtopics. So let us start with today's subtopics. Before that, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. First subtopic is environmental conservation and biodiversity. So, most you have seen that the main or major environmental problem that we are facing today is the environmental pollution. So, you must have observed the environmental pollution in your area. So, our living world had been richly diverse. It consists of varieties of plants and animals. However, we are not able to see certain species or certain animals which we had listened from our earlier generation because they are vanished due to the pollution or due to the another environmental problems. So now is this responsibility to conserve the environment? Obviously, it is our responsibility to conserve that environment, to conserve that biodiversity. So biodiversity is the richness of the living organisms in nature due to presence of varieties of organisms, ecosystems and genetic variations within a species. So biodiversity occurs at three different levels. So in simple language we can see or we can say that the biodiversity means, if you take the example of a single animal, there are vast varieties, vast species of that animals, that is called as the biodiversity. So for example, if you take the plant hibiscus, China rose plant, which is called as the jaswandi. So this China rose or hibiscus plant, if you observe it carefully, there are various varieties of that plant also. Some's flower are red, some's are yellow, some's are pink, some's are white, some's are mixed pink and white. So these are the many varieties of that single plant. So that means that is the biodiversity of that plant. That there is a richness of the varieties of a particular species. That is called as the biodiversity. So this biodiversity occurs at three different levels. Now what are those three different levels? So first level is genetic diversity. So genetic diversity means occurrence of the diversity among the organisms of same species, that is called as the genetic diversity. For example, human beings, we all are same species. Human beings are all of same species, but have you seen that each and every human being is different from each other in their facial structure, in their anatomical structure, in their body appearance? They all are different from each other. So though we are related with only one species, that is human species, there is a drastic difference in us genetically, and that is called as the genetic diversity. So the diversity at the gene level in the same species is called as the genetic diversity. The second is species diversity. So species diversity means there are innumerable species of organisms in the nature. This is called as species diversity. Species diversity includes various types of the plants, animals, microbes. So plant is a huge category. If we say plants, there can be a different species of the plants. For example, mango species or banyan species or China rose or small shrubs like grass and everything. So all comes under the species plant, but they are different. So that is species diversity. And the next is ecosystem diversity. So ecosystem is the particular place or habitat where that organism is living. So many ecosystems are present in each region. So ecosystem is formed through interaction between the plants, animals, their habitat, and the changes in the environment. So each ecosystem has its own characteristic animals, plants, microbes, and abiotic factors. So this ecosystem diversity is also very important. For example, the animals, the bear which is present in terrestrial region is having less fur, while the snow bear which is present in the cold region is having the huge amount of the fur. So that is the ecosystem diversity. The diversity has been occurred in the animal because of the environment in which it is living. So that is the ecosystem diversity. So in this way, biodiversity is the richness of the living organisms, varieties of the living organisms in the nature due to the presence of various factors. So this biodiversity, we have explained these three levels of biodiversity, which are genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. Now we will move towards the next subtopic of this lesson, which is sacred groves. Again, this is very important. The question has been asked in the previous board exams about the sacred groves. So, the forest conserved in the name of the god and considered to be sacred is called as the sacred grove. So, what are sacred groves? They are nothing but the forest. But these forests are conserved on the name of the god. It is called as that this is the forest of the god, or it is conserved on the name of the god, that is called as the sacred groves. These are in fact the sanctuaries conserved by the society and not by the government and forest department. So these are not cut by the humans, though the protection is not given by the government. The society themselves nurture those forests because it is on the name of the god. So as it is has been conserved in the name of god, it has special protection. And these clusters of the thick forest are present not only western ghats of India but in the entire country of India. So, more than 13,000 sacred groves have been reported in India. So, what is sacred groves? Sacred groves are the forest conserved in the name of the god and considered to be sacred, hence, it is called as the sacred groves. The next question is enlist and discuss. Again, this question is very important. This question has been asked in the board papers. Rather, we can say every year this question is repeated. Some symbols are given to you, and you have to write the meaning of that symbols. Students, note down this question, these symbols, and their meanings in your notebook. It is very important. So, some symbols are given below. Find the meaning of those symbols in relation to the environment conservation and make list of other such symbols. So, four symbols you can write. The first symbol is in blue color where the man is throwing something in the bin or in the basket. So, what does that symbol indicates? So this symbol, the first symbol, tells us to throw the waste in dustbins only. The proper disposal of garbage with the proper care has to be done. That we should do the separation of the wet waste, dry waste, electronic waste, everything. So in that way the proper disposal of the garbage has to be done, and we should not litter the garbage anywhere. We have to throw it in the dustbins only. That is what the message given by the first picture. Now second picture. In this second picture you can see the charger plugins, and at the one end and at the another end the leaves or the green leaves are being shown. So the meaning of that second symbol is save the electricity, because if we save the electricity we will contribute to save the natural resources also, because the electricity is produced by the water, which is the natural resource. So saving of electricity will also result into the saving of the natural resources, and that is why save electricity is the message given by the second symbol. In the third symbol, bicycle is shown to you, and this bicycle is in green color. So that third symbol gives us message that the bicycle promotes the use of green energy. Using bicycles we can save the fuels, we can prevent the pollution, we can prevent our natural resources. So in that way, if we use or if we promote the use of the bicycle, that will reduces the pollution. It is very eco-friendly option. Then in the last picture, in between two hands, the water drop is shown, and the meaning of this symbol, the fourth symbol, is the symbol is giving the message save water, because sustainable use of water is very necessary, because water is non-renewable source, natural resource, and we have to conserve these natural resources, and that is why for sustainable use of water is very necessary for our future, and that is why the picture is giving the message the save the water. Now next is hotspots of biodiversity. So hotspots means the area where the biodiversity is present in a huge amount. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity is the variety of the organisms present on the earth. Okay, so hotspots are the areas where these vast types of the animals can be observed. So 34 such highly sensitive biodiversity spots are been reported all over the world. Presently, only 2.3% area of the earth has been left over with these sensitive spots. It includes 1,50,000 plant species, which are 50% of the world count. So, as far as India is considered, out of 135 species of the animals, only 85 species are found in the jungles of the eastern region. About 1,500 endemic plant species are found in Western Ghat. So, India, Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat of India is the hotspot of biodiversity, and we have to conserve this Eastern Ghat and Western Ghats from the industrialization, urbanization, and deforestation like man made activities. So, three endangered heritage places of the country. The Western Ghat, the first is the Western Ghat. It is spreads over the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Has been endangered due to the mining industry and search for the natural gas. So, habitats of the Asiatic lion and wild bison of this region have been under threat. The lion, we know that the number of the lions and the bisons are reduced. Why? Because of these mining and the natural gas searching activities. Manas Sanctuary, it is in the Assam. So that is also under threat due to the dams and the indiscriminate use of the water. So tiger and the rhino in that region is under the threat. Then Sundarban Sanctuary. Sundarban Sanctuary is present in West Bengal and it is reserved for the tigers, like Bengal tigers. So these tigers population and overall local environment is seriously challenged by the dams, deforestation, excessive fishing, trenches dug for same, etc. Now, the next is classification of these threatened species. Threatened species means what? The species that are in a threat. That if we do not give the proper attention to those species, these species will get completely vanished. They are called as the threatened species. Now, these threatened species are also classified further into the four categories. So, the first is endangered species. So, endangered species, here the either number of these organisms is declined or their habitat is shrunk to such an extent that they can be extinct in a near future if conservative measures are not implemented. So their number is too much decline, and if we do not give the proper attention, they will permanently lost from the earth. And the example of this is lion tailed monkey. This monkey looks like a lion. You can see the tail of that monkey is just similar to the lion. So that lion tailed monkey or the lesser florican or the endangered species. It means they are under the complete danger. If we do not give the proper attention, they will get vanished. Second is rare species. So number of these organisms is considerably declined. Organisms of these species being endemic may become extinct very fast. So the example is red panda. So you must have seen that. We know the black panda, white panda, but we don't know red panda. Why? Because it is the rare species. It is present in very less amount in the nature. The next is vulnerable species. So number of these organisms is extremely less and it continuously declining, continuously it is decreasing. So continuous decline in their number is the worrisome reason. The example of this vulnerable species is tiger, lion, etc. Then indeterminate species. So indeterminate species appear to be endangered due to there is some behavioral habits like shyness. So there is no definite and substantial information. These species are not present in a huge amount, but we cannot say that they are not even present on the earth because they are very shy. So whenever any human comes, they get into their shelters and they will not come out, and maybe because of that we can get the false data, but we don't know the definite reason and there is substantial information, and that is why we are calling them as indeterminate species. The example of this is giant squirrel. So you can look the giant squirrel, it is having a huge structure and the huge tail. It is also called as the shekru. So this shekru is the indeterminate species. So students, in this way we have covered this full lesson. I'm again telling you, if you want the explanation of the previous video, I have given the links in the description box. Do watch those videos. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and yes, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.